Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making an easy, amazing gingerbread cake. So let's get started. First off, set your oven to 350 and line a 9 by 13 inch pan with parchment paper or give it a good buttering. Now into a large bowl, I'm adding 3 cups or 360 grams of all-purpose flour. I want 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder right now. I also want a scant 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. This will react with the acid in the molasses. 3/4 teaspoon of salt for contrast. Of course, our gingerbread cake is full of your favorite holiday spices. I want 2 teaspoons of ginger. 1, 2. 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, ground, not sticks. A very nice addition is 1/2 teaspoon of cloves. Ah, so nice. Very, very strong. If you'd like, you could add any of your favorites, a 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom, some allspice. They are all gonna be really nice in this cake. It's time to give this a whisk. This cake would traditionally just be served as like a delicious cake in and of itself. Maybe a little bit of powdered sugar on top, but it's delicious plain. Today, I might be making a frosting just as an optional step. This is ready to be set aside, and now in a slightly smaller bowl, I'm gonna add my wet ingredients. I have 1 cup of hot water. I'm gonna add that into my bowl, 240 mils, and 1 cup of room temperature molasses. This comes out more slowly. Lots of flavor in the molasses. So we want the hot water to dissolve the molasses and really make it a nice, even mixture. Mix, 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 mix. And then to this mixture, I'm adding 1 cup or 200 grams of granulated sugar. So just whisk that right in. This cake is so easy to make, and I swear during the holidays, you'll have this out, little pieces on a platter, it'll disappear in a snap. It's time for 3/4 cup of melted unsalted butter. That's 170 grams. Lots of richness in there. 2 eggs. I'm gonna crack these into a separate bowl because I definitely wanna spot any stray shells. Yeah, just the 2. Give it a mix. Add the eggs in, along with 1 tablespoon of butter, along with 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Butter. Give this a nice mix. Oh my gosh, that smells really, really nice. It's time to pour the wet into the dry, but I want to tell you, for the fluffiest, most amazing cake possible, do not overmix your batter. Now we're gonna whisk this together until it's almost combined. There's a lot of flour lurking on the bottom. See, this all puffs up, so scrape it down while you whisk, and now to go nice and slow. This is a lovely color. Just check for any last little bits of flour, and once you're content, it's time to pour into your prepared pan. Into the oven, 350 for 30 to 35 minutes, or until the center is springy to the touch. While the cake's baking, I'm making a really easy and very optional buttercream for this. I just so happen to have a little bit of brown butter left over. I used a lot on my pasta last night, hoping it's about 1/2 cup. Ooh, it's just a little bit over 1/2 cup. How lovely. This is gonna add a wonderful seasonal depth of flavor. And I'm gonna go 1/2 and 1/2, so 1/2 regular butter, 1/2 browned. Browned butter is just butter that's been cooked down and has a wonderful nutty depth of flavor. This gingerbread cake is lovely in and of itself, but a kiss of frosting on top is gonna be perfectly delicious too. I've about 1 cup of butter here, and I'm also gonna add the zest of a lemon. Lemon and gingerbread go so well together. I love adding a little bit of lemon into my icing when I make gingerbread cookies too. In you go. This is gonna get creamed up and be so delicious. Pop that onto your mixer, ooh, along with a paddle attachment, and a nice pinch of salt. Okay, mix this up for about a minute on medium speed so the butter is really creamy and nice. If you want, you could use regular butter for this completely, or all browned butter. It's totally up to you. Oh my gosh, already the smell is amazing. A little bit of vanilla wouldn't hurt either. Scrape that bowl down. Brown butter is one of my favorite things in the world. I even have a project on how to make it and use it in my cookbook. It's very good. Hope you have a copy. I'm guessing I'll add about 4 cups of powdered sugar, but it's kind of to taste, so let's see how we like it. It's a little bit less than 4 actually. Mix on low, and we can add some cream in here too, just to give it a more slack, luscious consistency. I increased to medium speed. It's nice and combined. Now I'm gonna add about a 1/4 cup of cream. I'm just making this recipe up, by the way. I kind of just felt like having frosting today, so bear with me as I just eyeball things. This is looking so nice on top, but the bottom is really compacted and not fluffy. So one more scrape down before we get to taste testing. If you wanted a frosting that was like a break from the spice fall amazingness, you could have a cream cheese frosting with the zest of lemon in it. That'd be really nice too. Okay, I'm increasing it to high speed just for like 30 seconds. Let's see. Oh, look at that color. It looks so fluffy. That's really nice. Oh my gosh. That hits your tongue in different places. There's like a little bit on the tip, side, the back. You can like taste different things and a cascade of flavors. Ah, so nice. Yeah, that would be like a brown butter lemon frosting, but that doesn't do it justice. The taste is great. I want this to be just a bit more creamy and smooth, so I'm adding in a few more tablespoons of cream. This is just sitting on top of my sheet cake. I'm not gonna stack anything, so it could be really loose and just amazing. It doesn't have to have that much strength. Okay, final taste test. Let's make this happen. So I had my cake in the fridge to let it cool down quicker. Got a little wrinkly because I was transferring it like this, but I'm gonna pop this onto something more presentable. La la la. So like I said earlier, you could just present this as is, cut it into little pieces and serve, dust with powdered sugar, or make an optional frosting. So here's that. I'm just plopping this on with a triggered ice cream scoop. This cake is so soft. I don't know if you can see, but it's basically like a gingerbread pillow. Just smooth it out over the surface, and then we're going to give it a couple swirls. Look at that luscious frosting. And swoops, give it some movement. And the nice thing is, when you do this style of decorating, it makes it look like there's tons of frosting, even if it's actually a pretty thin layer. Give it a slice and it's ready to enjoy. That frosting is optional, but delicious. You should really try to make it. Oh my gosh, melts as soon as it touches your mouth. And the cake is like the most pillowy, soft gingerbread cloud you could ever imagine. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe. And if you like this video, check out my holiday cake playlist.